Okay, so today we're working on activity number 29. And something to be aware of if you're doing this from a class other than my classes is that what the lesson here has been changed from what's in the book. So, what we're doing here is taking a document and applying the MLA standards to it. The reason you're doing this in high school and college, you'll be expected to cite your work in a particular way, typically MLA, but I will show you how to use other methods. It's super easy. So, the storyline behind this is you're working at the writing lab and somebody walked in. They have their paper written. They have where they got their information from down here. They just don't know anything about doing this MLA. So we're going to have to format this and add some citations. Citations are where you state where you got the information. You can't just copy information from someplace. You've already been taught that. Instead, you need to be able to say where you got it. And when you say that, you're going to say it in a very particular format called MLA. So, with all that said, let's get started on today's assignment. Okay, so we've got this document here. The other thing I will remind you is the only thing I'm showing you is the computer part. Actually making the essay, your ELA teachers are going to show you that. Okay, so everything needs to be in Times New Roman 12-point font. That was easy enough. And we need to put in page numbers. So we're just going to come over here to Insert, come down here to page numbers. And we want this one right here, okay? The one that has the page numbers in the upper right-hand corner, and the first page has a 1 on it. Good. Now, you notice that it's got a page number, and the cursor is blinking on the right side of the number. We want to move that to the left by using the arrow keys on the keyboard. So I'm going to press the left arrow key once. The arrow keys are those keys between the number pad and the keyboard, or on your Chromebook in the bottom right-hand corner. Now I'm going to press the space bar once. Now I'm going to press the arrow key, the left arrow key once more. Okay, now we have the cursor moved one space over from the page number. Here you're going to type in your last name. You're not going to type in my name, you're going to type in your last name. Great. Okay, now we're completely done up here in the header. Remember, the header of the document is the portion of the document that prints on every page. Now we're just going to come down here somewhere. You see where my cursor is, and I'm just going to click. That closed the header. Really easy. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is put in your name. Okay, so you're going to type your name again. Instead of typing my name, you need to type yours. Now, the next thing that goes in is the name of your instructor. Okay. Okay, enter. Now is the name of the class that you're in. Whatever class it is you're in as you're doing this. And the final one is today's date, done in day, month, year format. So I'm doing this on the 27th of October. Notice just the first 3 letters, and then the year. Oops. 203. Good. Okay, as a comment on the format here, I never really understood the American way of putting in dates. It makes no sense to me. Because you think about it, we go month, middle-sized unit, then day, smallest unit, and then year, largest unit. So we go mid, small, large. It makes so much more sense to go small, medium, large. Oh well. Anyways, off my soapbox. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Now, the next thing we're going to do is just copy in this person's essay, okay? So we're going to come over here, and we're just going to very carefully copy this whole essay here. Just down to all we have to do is try, okay? Copy it. You guys know how to do that. Control-C, or you could have right-clicked on it and selected copy. Now I'm going to come back over here to this, and we're going to paste that in, Control-V. Now, again, this has to be all Times New Roman 12-point font. Let's go ahead and do that. Control A, Times New Roman. Good. We've got a great start going on here. Now, to make this easier, I want you to do something that you probably don't normally do. I want you to come over here. Where's my cursor? Where's my cursor? Oh, it's frozen. There it is. No, it's not. I want you to come over here to View, Show Non-Printing Characters. Now, what this is showing you, and I'm going to zoom in for a moment to show you what's going on here, okay? So every time I hit the Enter key, it put in that symbol there, marking the end of a paragraph. Every time I hit the space bar, it put in that little dot, okay? So that's what the Show Non-Printing Characters is doing. These characters do not print. Okay, now I'm going to click. Well, first thing I'm going to do is center of a title. The only thing that is centered is the title. Teens Going Green. I'm just going to come up here and I will come over here and center align that title. Nothing else is centered. I've gotten a few turned in where everything was centered and that isn't right. Okay, now today's teens, we're going to indent by pressing the Tab key. The Tab key is on the extreme left above the caps lock key, and the Tab key says TAB, Tab. And I'm going to go ahead and press the Tab key once. Now you can see right up here that it brought that in 1/2 inch. That's what it's supposed to do. Okay, now I'm going to come over here to the one right here, backspace, enter. Okay, come to this one right here, backspace, enter. Okay, we're just going to go through this whole thing doing it this way. Backspace, enter. Backspace, enter. Now this one here, these two are here just to show you something that can be done, that was done wrong. Here, what they did, or what the client, the person that came to you for help did, was they tried to indent these, but they hit the space bar a million times. That's really not a good way of doing it, because if you change the font size or anything, all of that changes. So I'm just backspacing over all of those places where he hit the space bar, and then I'll hit enter. I'm going to do the same thing right here. Backspace, 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 enter. Good. Okay, at this point, we have this part of our paper basically done. Now, the next thing we have to do is add the citations. And again, the citations are what you put in to show where you got this information from, so you're not accused of plagiarism, presenting another person's work as your own, okay? And this is going to be super easy. Come up here and click on Tools, and I come down here to Citations. This is our citation management tool. Now, I told you I'd show you if your teacher doesn't want MLA. There are a couple other standards here, APA in Chicago. Most of the classes I've taken have always been MLA. I think I took like one class that was APA, but again, super easy. You just click on the one you're using. Okay, now, we asked where we got this sentence right here. It's not always easy to know exactly what to do to help our planet. And our client told us that he got that from Al Gore's book, An Inconvenient Truth. So I'm going to come down here and copy that ISBN 13. I'm not going to go past the 9, so you don't do that. Make sure you have only the numbers. Don't go past it. You note that I tend to go right to left when I'm doing this. It just makes it easier. Copy that, Control-C. Come back to our document here. Add a citation source. It's a book. And it was in print. It came in with the book. Search with an ISBN. Control-V. Search. Okay, that's the name of the book right there. Great. Continue. Here, if you want to add stuff, there are things you might want to add at times. But at the moment, all we're going to do is click on Add Citation Source. Now you see it's available for us to use, and I'm going to click on the word Cite. And it put that citation in there. It reminds you to replace the hashtag with a number, like page 35. Great. Okay, so the next one here is this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and hide this for just a minute so you can see what I'm doing. One of the ways to get started is to turn off your computer when you're not using it. You'll save an average of $90 worth of electricity per year. That's the kind of thing you probably copied from somewhere. So I'm going to click right after the word year, after the R, before the period. I'm going to go ahead and reopen the citation management tool. You really didn't need to close it, but I want to make sure you see how to open and close that tool easily. Good. We're going to add another citation right here, but this one came from a web page. So I'm going to come over here to the assignment. And the web page it came from is this one right here, ways to reduce IT energy costs. So I'm just going to go ahead and right click on this and open link in new tab. And here we are. Ways to reduce. IT stands for information technology. It's how in business we say the computers. Okay, so I'm just going to come up here and click on the URL up here. Control C. Now keep in mind, I purposely clicked after it again because I wanted this HTTPS stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and select that again. Control C. What URL stands for depends on the book you use, is either Uniform or Universal Resource Locator. Simply, it's a name given the web pages. Go back here. And now I'm going to add a citation source. This is a website. Great. Access by website. Search of URL, Control V. Search. And there it is. And so we're at the Energy Star website. Continue. Add citation source. Now we're simply going to cite this article right here. Good. Okay. We're going to do another one here. Let's see here. This one right here. What about meat consumption? I'm going to move this over a tiny bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. What about meat consumption? How many hamburgers do you eat in 1 week? Do you know that it takes 4.8 pounds of grain? This really sounds like something you looked up. Do you know how many hungry people can be fed with that? It takes 2,500 to 6,000 pounds of water to produce 1 pound of meat, but only 1 pound. But 1 pound of wheat can be grown with only 60 pounds of water. And we copied that from somewhere, so we're going to click right there. Okay? Where we got that from was also from Al Gore's book, An Inconvenient Truth. So I'm just going to come over here. We've already put this in, so all I need to do is click on Cite that second time, and it's going to put that in there, page number 65. Great. Okay. Speaking of water, less than 20% single-use containers make it to the recycling bin. Go ahead and click right after bin and before the period, because again, that sounds like something that our client looked up. So I'm going to go ahead up here, and we're going to come down here to the Scientific American article right here. Okay, so I'm just going to right click on that, open link in new tab. And here we go, Scientific American Recycling Report Card. I'm just going to click over here a couple, so I get the entire URL. Then I'll select that URL. Come on, my computer's being slow. Control C. Great. Come back over here to our assignment. And we're where we want to put it. We're going to add another citation source. This is also, of course, a website. And search by URL, Control V. Search. There we are. Continue. Add citation source. There we go. And now we've got that Scientific American one there. The reason the order is different than when you put them in is because it's already putting them in alphabetical order for you. Okay, cite. Good. And we just have one more we're going to put in here. Okay. Okay. Human population and consumption rates begin to swell while wildlife shrinks. Okay. And we're going to humankind can right a lot of wrongs and invent new technology to live lighter on Earth, but it'll take a lot of smarts. We got this out of another book. So we're going to click right after the word smarts and before the period. We're going to come back over here, and we're going to get that second book there, which was The Heat Will Kill You First. We're going to copy the ISBN 13 number, Control C. We're going to come back over here to our assignment, and we're again going to add a citation source. New one, book. It's a book. And ISBN, Control V. Search. Heat Will Kill You First. That's the book we wanted. Continue. Add citation source. And here we are. So Heat Will Kill You First. We're going to go ahead and click on Cite. And we're just going to replace that hashtag there with a page number of 100. Okay. We're almost done. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is going to adjust the spacing here. I'm going to close this for a moment. You don't need to. So Control A again. We typically, when writing, we want to be in a smaller line spacing so we can see more of what we write. But when we turn something in for MLA, the line spacing, and you see I went to the line spacing tool here, the double arrow and the stack, the line spacing needs to be double for MLA. Okay. So what that means is it put in that extra blank there. It gives the teacher room to write in on your essay. Okay, now we got one last thing to do. I'm going to click down here at the bottom of my essay, and we're going to add the works cited. Insert, tools, citations. And so now we're at the bottom. Make sure you put this thing at the bottom, okay? Insert works cited. And here we are. It's correctly formatted all of the stuff, all of the places that we got our information from. We're done using the citation manager. We're not done with the work yet. The only thing left is we want to push this to its own page. Don't hit the space bar a million times, okay? Because then if you add everything, everything's off again. So instead, we're going to insert a break, and we're going to insert a page break. What that did was pushed our works cited to that third page, so it's on its own page. We have automatic page numbering turned on, and we have double space, Times New Roman, 12-point font, and all of this looks right. So all you have left to do is turn it in.